Greetings viewers at home and welcome on another exciting episode of Retros where we talk about love, lies, truth and pain. Kanti uyazi ukuthi la ekhathi nesabantu be-lifestyle, sikufanele style, sikulethele zonke indaba. I would love to address something ezakalayo emakhaya. The past few days we've been seeing issues with femicide, and we've been seeing into ezimbi ezakala emphakathini. And when all these things happen, it's not the hashtag that matters, but it's the life that gets to be affected and carry the pain for the rest of their lives. Today I'm joined by Olathile Mjila. She's an author, she's a speaker, she's a change or she's an agent of change. Let me not say much about her. Let me just give her time, time to explain herself, to sell herself to you. Minigama Petros Koza, Yaz Wutwena, who prefer Mizangoteri. It's still fine, that's my name as well. Madam, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Nyanbingelela babukeli be-Daveytontv emakhaya and ngiyajabula ukuba nani namhlanje.
Yes, you look so good.
Thank you.
Who dressed you?
Ngiyastressa.
Yeah, and today, we have you, and actually not you, but we have you and the content, so it's a full house. I'm not my scars.
True.
And that would you are my incredible journey to healing. Before we go into the book, what is healing?
Healing for me it's acknowledging the weight eyephelile oyithwele ungumuntu. That is you acknowledge it. So uma you acknowledge something, it's when you say ngiyazizwa ukuthi ngiyagula ngiphethwe ihlaba.
Yes.
So ngenzani uma ngiphethwe ihlaba or ngine-headache. So what do I do ukuze i-headache ihambe? That is the beginning of the journey to healing.
Wezwa-ke bukela bekhaya ukuthi Olathile Mjila uthini nge-healing. Today we're talking about healing. Today we're talking about hashtag I am not my scars. Uphukile inyawo limele, but when awuhambi ngokuphuka kwenyawo, because even though you are wounded, you still use ama-crutches wakho to walk. You still use whatever to support you to walk. So today ngithatha ipeni, uthatha iphepha ngoba kuningi esiyokhuluma ngako kule ncwadi esihloko sakhona esithi I am not my scars. So explaining ukuthi what is healing. Then the book I am not my scars. What triggered you to write the book, to give us this beautiful content?
So what triggered ukuthi ngibhale about my scars, ama-events, izinto, izehlo ezehla empilweni yami. Ngisasengumntwana and ngisase primary school and into my adulthood. So iyo into yangitrigara ukuthi ngibhale incwadi ngithi I am not my scars. And besides that, it was also inspired by the fact that ekhaya sikhule sifunda and ngaba fortunate kanti nenhliziyo yami la izongisa khona izongisa kumuntu othanda ukufunda nothanda ukubhala. So i-passion yethu yokufunda or i-passion yethu yencwadi translated to us reading and writing and also inspiring other people to write. So I was affected. I could not be affected ngoba umuntu engihlala naye engishade naye uyabhala uyafunda. So it was only natural for me ukuthi nami ngifune ukubhala, but there was something greater than that eyangidrive towards ukubhala.
Mhlambe ke ngoba sowuchazile ke about the inspiration what inspired you ekhaya kuyafundwa. We like that, So siyazi ukuthi umuntu emakhaya kuyafundwa sibisa esikoleni. There must be something deep that made you write I am not my scars. Can you share maybe few or maybe any scar that you went through so that whoever is watching, they may understand? Because as ama motivational speakers, they'll come and tell you which push, you are in a tunnel, there's light at the end, there's this, there's that. But now we want to understand the practical part of it, what happened. You are inspired, yes, but what happened before inspiration? What happened? Yes.
All right. So, njengoba ngisho ukuthi this was inspired by events.
Sure.
Ezenzeka kimi.
Yeah.
One of those events being rape, right? So it happened or rather yenzeka ngisasemakhaya ngisasengumntwana omncane ngangifunda usabhi abanye babiza udomdom so ngangifunda usabhi and ekhaya ke singabantwana nje nama cousins wami ngihlala nabo gogo and umama beka travela between Joburg and nase Eastern Cape where I come from. So athi ke my travel ile ashiye nabantu aqashela umuntu lo muntu mebahambe and then mhlambi nabo gogo bangabikho ngesikhathi sabo sokusebenza bayosebenza emini and then kanti kwaba yi-opportunity yomuntu oduzane nasekhaya owabona ukuthi okay akunabantu laphayana abantwana ngiyababona bayaphuma bayangena so kusho ukuthi wabona ukuthi vele akunabantu abadala i-opportunity yakhe ukuthi aze azozenzela so wafika ke wabiza ama-cousins wami wabafana nabanye bamantombazana wathi bo baphume bahambe and then wathi mina uzongithuma somewhere kanti akazungithuma uzozenzela yena emzimbeni wami ngumntwana at that age. So that's one of the scars I'm talking about kule ncwadi yami.
So when you talk about Zabia, I can imagine you were still young. Yes. So after Segaba Kipi the cousins and Wasala now, first thing first Wednesday.
So first things first, what I remember ukuthi wavala umnyango like kune umnyango lo ovula phezulu ngaphansi.
Yes.
So wavala umnyango and undressed me wathi ngithule ngingalokhuzi ngingakhali and then wathi ngingatsheli muntu futhi or otherwise uzongibulala if ngitshela umuntu. So that's when he took off my panties and then phakamisa iloko and he raped me.
And after that, how was the situation handled after the rape? Did you report him? What happened?
I didn't report. Azange ngireport nasekhaya because the only thing engiyikhumbulayo ukuthi nje ukhazini wami owayemdala kunami uye owareporta ekhaya ukuthi umbone bangithole in a certain position endlini ngilele kusho ukuthi since ngikhala kuleyo ndawo leyo, right? And then since ngikhala mina kuleyo ndawo leyo ngalala lapho kusho ukuthi bangithola lapho and babona leyo nto leyo then ba report ukuthi sibone babiza igama lami enokuthi emzimbeni. So basically that's how the family found out, but otherwise ukuthi ya report or wayenzakalani or wapanishwa efamilini or wayenzakalani angazi nokwazi nanamhlanje up until I was still very young. So obviously nothing would have been discussed with me or anything like that. Angikhumbuli futhi ne-counseling ngaleso sikhathi leso and I lived with that ngingayitsheli umuntu. Abanye abantu baze sengimdala ukuthi actually kwenzeka into enjena and nami ke at that time I think as umntwana unalento leyo ukuthi kuyafana ngeke baze bangikholwe and if you have been threatened as umntwana nawe then uyakholwa. And I actually learned this last year as I was doing research for incwadi ukuthi why abantwana bengakhulumi ukuthi ngihlukumezekile or why abantwana bengakhulumi ukuthi kwenzeke into so it's because abantwana banaleyo ngqondo ukuthi nobody is going to believe me. That's why bethula.
Mbukeli lapha ekhaya la sihleli khona namhlanje sithikida isihloko esikhuluma nge-journey of healing. But before the journey of healing, we're talking about what happened before we could heal. Namhlanje sikhuluma ngesihloko very sensitive, rape. You see, rape has become a culture, especially in the black families, where umalume unikubeza umntana omncane and the issue will be solved internally and malume can't get justice because of ugogo ukhalela umntanakhe. Usisi ukhalela umfowabo. But umntwana udlengulile. Can we stop not reporting such cases because of abantwana bakhona abahlukumezekile? A lot of kids who are out there vulnerable. It's because of rape. Rape yabatraumatize abantu and it catches with them masibabadala. You know, it inflicts pain emishadweni yabo. They can't be able to talk about sex with their own kids and they become insecure, they become vulnerable. Mjida, ungayithathi ngenkani uthi especially on emntwaneni omncane, how does it feel? It's wrong. #, it's wrong. No to rape. You know, it is totally wrong. I disagree with that. Sisters, I love the fact that we are issue to this day you don't know how what happened, but we're so privileged because today at least you can share this with the world. And there's people who has never got that chance to share whatever they went through also and how vulnerable they are until I label them. And you said to me you experienced a rape thrice.
True.
Okay, because of time, can you go to the third one? Because the third one, it happened so mdala. The second one said it happened when you were 10 years old, right? And the third one was so mdala. I want us to talk about that because I think it's more relevant. You said you wake up in the morning, you went to work. Along the way, you got mugged and raped, right? Yes, then I want you to tell me from the scene of rape, going back home, what did you feel? What were your thoughts about the world and everything?
I can't even say ukuthi bengine bengicabanga at that time. Ngaphandle nje kokuthi I was numb. Uyabona ungazazi ukuthi ukhale because you don't feel. Ngaleso sikhathi leso. You don't feel. You're not thinking. The only thing eyayisengqondweni yami nje ukuthi ngifike ekhaya and ngikhumule ngigeze and ngingabi ngisuse konke lokungcola, but little did I know ukuthi lokho kungcola kuzohlala not only empahleni or emzimbeni but kuzohlala engqondweni. So I've had to deal with that. So ukusuka laphana from the scene up to endli ekhaya, that 5 minutes it felt like a whole 5 hours. Ngoba la endleleni ngidlula imoto, I suppose abantu babemangela ukuthi how lo sisi wavithikelwa le ntombazana yavithikelwa impahla kwenze njani and akuna.
So actually, beside the rape scene that happened, going back home you were humiliated by nature, the way it was.
Yes.
So when you got home, how did you break the news to your husband?
So fortunately bengahlali naye yet, he was still my boyfriend. So ngambona a day later or the same day late or a day later, I just can't remember.
Yeah.
But breaking the news to him, ukuthi ngamfonela and ngam-explaining ukuthi kwenzakaleni, yabona, and washo ke wathi uzonginikeza support that I need, yabona, so that until nibe right. So when we met, obviously it was just emotional because I think by then I was already self-judging, yabona, sengizitshelile nje ukuthi oh hayi ke there goes a relationship, there goes baba wabantwana, because at the time umntanethu omncane was 9 months. So you can imagine the shock kuye, you can imagine the shock nakimi, the shock efamily, you understand. So but yeah, like he was supportive.
So again, then after breaking the news, it was challenging, but from Mjila, and obviously I know it will not be easy. Then I want to know, how long did it take you to get to bed with him right after the rape?
Sure, it took time. It took months actually. It took months, and even kulawo mamanzi, the first time it was just horrible because I think I was just numb and thinking, how do I ngenza kanjani? This is hard. Is it the same thing? The same sins just kept coming back. The same sins just kept coming back, and we couldn't. And he gave me time. He gave me time to heal. He gave me time to be comfortable and familiarize myself with our relationship.
Whereas rape is not only showing power over a woman that you can do whatever you want to do with them. Like it goes a long way. Imagine if you rape someone and after that with their sex life dies right on the scene of the rape. One lady was raped and she stayed for almost a year without dating, without seeing anyone. And it happened with Ntombazana wahlangana nendoda eyamthanda. When they went to bed, the lady right on that sex scene, imagine they were more intimate, they were having fun, they were enjoying this. The lady make it so up by a police station, but I know a guy raped me. Obopisa, the boyfriend. Because of now what she felt and the conscious mind, to the subconscious. It went back to the scene a year later. And the guy got arrested. But later, the case was, resolved in a proper way. That's how much deep brain is. Okay. So I think you've spoken about you. So now, let's talk about the book, because we needed to hear what are we healing from. Singathi umuntu ubhale incwadi athi I'm healing, kanti umuntu usho ukuthi I'm healing from a broken class. So tell us, what is this book? When you say you are not your scars, the incredible journey of healing, usifundisana.
So this incredible journey of healing,
Yes.
it's about, it's about the events that happened to me.
Yes.
So you can imagine ukuthi sezenzekile lezo zinto lezo, right? And then life goes on. Do we forget? No. Cishe everything eyenzekayo empilweni zethu will always be linked to our behavior that is caused by the things that happened to us. So njengoba ngisho ukuthi I had the support of my husband with the last incident, because then it's the incident that I was able to report and relate to people, and which opened old wounds actually. So what happened then is that I became stressed, right? Stress, it comes in different forms. Even when you have gone through things like that, or ungasazibona, for that matter, outside exists. What exists is your pain, right? So how it affected me is that, even though my family said, "Wow, you are such a perfect person, right? We look up to you. You had a child when you were 18. You had, but still you were able to rise from that, because it's a fall. It's a fall. It's a fall. I must tell you, it's a fall. So from that fall, I was able to rise, and then I'm not going to live my life here at the age of 16. I still need to live for my child. How do I do that? I need to have a reason. My why was my child at the time.
Yeah.
And then I went back to school, back to uniform, and back to class. And then I was not a mother there. I was a student.
Sure.
From there, I rose, went and looked for a job, and then I got a job, and then from there, obviously people are thinking, wow, izinto zakho zihamba kahle. They don't know what you are going through. Still, I had to say to myself, you know what, you are not what happened to you. Life goes on. The expectations are still the same. Are you ready to then acknowledge the fact that you have been through these things, but you are not those things. You are not those things. So I had to say to myself, you are not what you went through. The standards are still the same. Nothing has changed. The standards are still the same. You still have to perform just as equal as to everyone, or even better than others.
So I'm to someone who has been through a lot in life, who's about to maybe give up, to someone who's depressed, someone right now, what, I reported the case, nobody took it serious, this and that happened. What would you say to them with the experience you went through and the journey of healing? Because I believe healing is not a day thing, and you don't get to a level where you say, I'm healed. And healing is painful more than the exact situation. What can you say to them?
So what I want to say to you at home, Uguti, whatever happened to you does not define who you are. You have been through it. I have been through it. I don't know what is it. Maybe it's the absent parent. Maybe it's the bullying. Maybe it's the abusive husband. I'm your wife. Maybe Gomunye, it's not succeeding at the level that everybody else thinks you should have been by now. Forget about that. Acknowledge whatever pain that you have been through. Acknowledge your scars. Begin the journey. Take one step at a time. Acknowledge your pain, acknowledge your scars, and say to yourself, I am not what has happened to me. That person who did whatever they did to me, they don't hold the power to my life. Whatever the person has said to you about you, they have no power over you. but you have the power to change your situation and say, above everything else that has happened, I'm not my scars and I can rise above this. There are people who wish they were actually in your position because they don't know what you have been through. Therefore, I would like to say to you, hold on, keep trying and make don't make your enemies happy, right? Don't make the person who did that to you to hold the power, because what has happened is that with the pain you are holding on to, you are blocking the things that should be happening in your life, because you keep saying, but I was raped, but he abused me, but they said this, but I failed. No, you are not those things. You are greater than that. You are special, actually.
Siyabonga mntana sekhaya, you are special, you are more than a conqueror, and far above everything, you are more than, and you are what you think. If you keep on feeding yourself negative thoughts, you're gonna produce negative things. But if you keep on refreshing your thoughts and thinking beautiful things about you, you know, trust me, you're gonna do well. And yazi ukuthi akusiphutha ukuthi udlenguliwe akulona iphutha lakho, ukuthi you were born in a poor family akulona iphutha lakho, you can still rise above everything. You know, the Bible says uJob walahlekelwa yikho konke, and when you read the scripture of Job, it doesn't show us where uJob enze kabi emehlweni kaNkulunkulu. So there's nothing wrong you have done for you to be in that situation, you know. But above all, you can still rise and be the best, you know. I'm just going to share something about forgiveness. Another wise man once said to me, when people wrong you and you don't forgive them, it's more of when someone they've wronged you, they go to prison, they become imprisoned. Bese wena usuka endlini uyohlala emnyango wasejele. And mostly as emnyango wasejele, lo muntu after finishing their sentence, they go out of the prison. When uyamlandela, and umlandela with anger yokuthi he did me wrong, but he is guilty free because of he has served the sentence. So that is why it's interesting, people who wrong us, they progress because of they serve their sentence, and emveni kwalokho they live their lives. Then you live to tell a tale ukuthi wangiheta, wangenzani, then you know you become hurt, you become bitter. No, if someone has done you wrong, do yourself a favor and forgive. It's a book by Joyce Meyer, do yourself a favor and forgive. But namhlanje ngithi icopy encwadi 9. Then I say, if people wanna get a copy of this book, people wanna talk to you, you know, they wanna share things they went through, you know. It's easy for someone who has went through the same things you went through to open up to you because of the understanding with you share them better. You know, then someone coming to me and say, I have a problem of this kind of like, I may just say things that I'm thinking, but not things that I know. You know, how can people get hold of you and get hold of the book?
All right, to get hold of Olathile Mjila, the author of I Am Not My Scars, you can contact me by calling 060-340-7577. My number again, 060-340-7577. You can also go to my Facebook page, which is Olathile Mjila or Amanda Luvela, or just search for I Am Not My Scars and send me a message and inbox, or you can also send me a WhatsApp. It's up to you, whichever one is you are comfortable with. And I just want to say that by having gone through whatever you've been through, it doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It is the other person. But what you can do is you can free yourself from that prison by letting go of the pain. And letting go of the pain it's when you forgive. First, forgive yourself for the anger, forgive yourself for what happened to you, and forgive the person for what they did to you. I know this is the hardest thing to say. I promise you, I believe that forgiveness happens even though you have not met the person who asked you for forgiveness. Forgive even if the person never came to you to say, I'm sorry I did that to you. I'm sorry I took away your innocence. I'm sorry I took away your happiness. I'm sorry I took away the things that I took away from you, because rape takes away a lot of things from a human being.
Siyabonga. Thank you so much for following us. We love to say love, lies, truth, and pain. And please don't forget to show us love by subscribing. Listening, follow. I didn't hear you mentioning your Twitter and your Instagram. Who are you on Twitter?
All right, on Twitter I'm Olathile Mjila. Yes. And on Instagram I'm also Olathile Mjila. Then on Facebook you can follow Amanda Luvela or follow I Am Not My Scars.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
I sense you follow her, she follows back. You know, yeah, let's keep supporting our black writers. It's important. Black businesses, black writers, black women in Bogota, Amandla. We love you. Shalom.